Hello, amazing entrepreneur. It's Tash Corbin here, and welcome to another episode of the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. This is episode number 247, which means you can find all the relevant links and show notes for today's episode over at tashcorbin.com/247. I have a Q&A episode of the podcast for you today, and it's all about where to put your focus when it comes to marketing your business, especially as you're starting out. It's a brilliant question from a brilliant woman named Kim, and I'm super excited to dive into it. So let's get started. I'm Tash Corbin, and this is the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. So the Q&A queue for today's episode comes from the wonderful Kim Hancher. And Kim, I hope that I have said your last name correctly. You can find Kim on Instagram at Kim Hancher, Hancher. And Kim is also at kimhancher.com. So Kim asks, I just launched in June, small list, small social following, but growing. Weekly content is a blog. Where should I put my marketing focus? Social media, guest blogging, or looking for press coverage in digital publications? If social media, which format? My ideal client is on many of them. I'm a style coach looking for one-to-one clients with longer-term goal of selling digital courses. Now, Kim, this is such a juicy question that you have asked, because it may actually be that you're focusing your energy and attention in the wrong space. And it is a very common mistake that people make when they're starting a business online. Fun fact, the highest conversion audience that you could possibly ever focus on is your hottest audience. Those people who know you, like you, trust you, and feel connected to you. When it comes to getting clients from online spaces, you are more likely to convert and get those clients, especially when you're first starting out, from spaces where you have a connection to people already, not from your cold audiences. But guess where 90% of online business owners spend their energy and attention with their marketing? It's on growing their cold audiences. And yet that activity, that focus is less likely to get you clients than simply by focusing on very high connection, high conversion strategies. So whilst I love that you've committed to doing a weekly blog, and that's a really great foundation of your business, I actually don't think any of the marketing focuses that you talked about would be the right fit for you. So number one, you need to know what your niche is in a lot more detail than you have listed here. Now, you may have that information for your business, Kim, but for everyone else listening along as well, when it comes to choosing what your high connection, high conversion marketing strategy will be, number one, you need to know your niche really specifically. And the 5 specific things about your niche that you need to know in order to be able to make those marketing decisions are: what is their gender? What is their job status? So are they working for themselves, working in a job, or not working? So just one of those 3 things. You don't need to know what job they have or what business they have. That's fine. So gender, job status, important trait. So what makes them the kind of person that you want to hang out with, regardless of whether they're the right fit for your business or not? Would you go to a barbecue with them? So important trait. What is their priority goal that you help them to achieve directly or indirectly through your work? And what is the reason why they say they can't have that specific goal? So those 5 things, if you cannot answer those questions about your ICA, or there's slashes, ands, ors, or commas involved in your answer to that question, then chances are your niche is not narrow enough, and you're going to struggle to make those important marketing decisions, and you will struggle to focus your attention on high connection, high conversion strategies that actually work. So first and foremost, we want to make sure we've got real clarity around that niche. And remember, your niche is the set of people that you focus on with your marketing activities. So niche is not your work. It's not your modality. It's not the service that you offer. Your niche is a set of people. It's a group of people. And it's not the group of people you could help. It's the group of people you focus on when you are marketing. Very, very big difference. If you are looking for more help with getting that niche decision really clear, I actually have a free niche training, and I'll make sure that I link to that in the show notes of today's episode. So that's part one. You need to make sure you've got very clear decisions in those 5 points around your niching first. Then that will help you with stage 2, which is selecting your high connection, high conversion strategy that's going to work most effectively for your audience. So we want to find a marketing strategy where you can quickly and easily engage members of your audience in a one-to-one conversation. So think about the strategies that you've talked about. Social media, yes, we can do some high conversion, high connection activities in there, and I'm going to talk about those because that's going to be your best option. Guest blogging, great. Guest blogging is great to create that sense of, oh, wow, she's interesting, or, oh, that person that I know thinks that she's awesome, so I guess I'll go and check her out. But it's a very cold audience that you're generating. If you do a guest blog on someone else's website, what are the chances that someone who finds that guest blog will strike up a one-to-one conversation with you? Pretty slim to nil. So guest blogging is a reach growth strategy. It's a cold audience growth strategy, and it is not suitable if you are in the startup stages of business. And then press coverage is even colder. Now, take it from me as someone who has been in a bunch of different spaces in the press, the likelihood of me being in the press translating into me getting clients is very, very low. And over the years, of the thousands of people that I have worked with, how many of them initially discovered me because of some random press thing? Pretty slim to nil. So I would definitely be focusing on social media out of those 3 areas. But when it comes to social media, it's not just about building a cold audience on that platform. It's about building high connection, high conversion strategies. So we need to make a decision on one of 2 platforms, Instagram or Facebook. I know that there are others, but none of them work for high connection, high conversion strategies the way that Facebook and Instagram do. So you'll need to answer a few questions to make a decision about whether Facebook or Instagram is the right fit for you. But I would suggest with design and style coaching, anything where it's a very visual business, you'll probably find that Instagram is going to be a better fit for you. It's probably more naturally aligned to your strengths as well. But there's definitely a big market for style coaching on Facebook as well. So depending on whether your ideal client is in a job or working for themselves, that will also dictate which platform I would recommend. People in a job, I'd probably recommend Instagram. People who work for themselves, I'd probably recommend Facebook. But that's all dependent on what you're most comfortable with in terms of social media strategies as well. And regardless of whether you choose Facebook or Instagram, your goal is not to grow your audience. Your goal is to get one-to-one conversations in your DMs. So make sure that whichever platform you use, you are focusing on high connection, high conversion strategies. If you decide that Facebook is the channel that you would like to go down the path of exploring, I do also have a free $0 Facebook marketing plan, which is a free training that you can access. And again, I'll make sure I pop the link to that in the show notes of today's episode over at tashcorbin.com/247. So hopefully, beautiful Kim, this has answered your question and given you some clarity on where you need to focus your energy and attention moving forward as you grow that amazing style coaching business. Now, if you would like to continue the conversation, you've been listening along today and thinking, "Ooh, this is fascinating," remember to come over to remember to come over to the Heart-Centered Soul-Driven Entrepreneurs Facebook group at tashcorbin.com/group. Use hashtag #podcastaha. Let me know you've been listening to episode number 247 and share your light bulb moments and your questions there in the Facebook community. We can continue the conversation there. Would you like me me to answer one of your questions on the podcast, simply go to tashcorbin.com/question, pop your question in there. I will answer your question, and hopefully, if your question is selected, also send some peeps your way by giving you a shout out as well. Thank you once again, Kim, for your epic question. Thank you to everyone who's been listening along to this episode. And until next time, I cannot wait to see you shine. Bye for now. Would you like more tips, tools, and resources to help you grow your heart-centered business? Head to tashcorbin.com today.